Welcome to my Science Shiz YouTube channel, which now has one video and still no subscribers. I'm the host, and this is for my Fluids Lab 4. After ignoring the directions for the project, I set out to do three things. First, do something fun. Second, make something more entertaining than a your mom joke for Dr. Crockett. And third, if all goes right, learn something? So naturally, last week I googled the phrase, cool fluids mechanics projects, which led me here. And if you don't think this is wickedly, insanely cool, then you're probably cooler than me, which also means you're just the normal 95% of the population, leaving only the engineers. The magic behind this video is a non-Newtonian fluid called Oobleck. It is a non-Newtonian fluid because it doesn't shear at a constant rate as the strain rate increases. Instead, as the shear forces increase, the fluid thickens. Think of it as the opposite of paint, which thins as you stir it. When I saw this video, I thought that maybe it could explain the science behind Peter walking and then sinking in the water. Perhaps his fishing boat had a bunch of cornstarch leaking out of the bottom, but probably not. As I watched more videos, I found this guy who dropped an iPad from 100 feet in Oobleck, and it actually survived somehow. It did have some other damage that from the Oobleck getting into the ports, but it survived the crash. That seems pretty crazy if you ask me, but those screens are getting tougher and tougher, which made me curious about the ultimate childhood engineering experiment, the egg drop. This is the scene where other teams had cool drone footage, but since I don't have a drone, and I did have an iPhone, here's this. So I needed to make my own Oobleck. Luckily it's cheap and consists of 2 parts cornstarch and 1 part water. Something to keep in mind is that it's hard to stir because it is, after all, a shear thickening fluid. It works best to fold it. Also, if you want to color it, learn from me and add the dye to the water before you add it to the cornstarch. Knowing I also needed to play in it, I made a bunch. First things first, I played in it, and it felt like walking on water, until it didn't. And all 3 of my friends supported me by walking on it. One of them said, quote, "It was actually cooler than I expected." Then I got down to business with the experiments. First, I coated an egg in Oobleck and dropped it from 5 feet, and it didn't break. The same result came from dropping an egg into a tub of Oobleck. Then I dropped an egg into water, and luckily for the experiment, it broke. But seeing that cracked egg gave me the idea to drop an egg on an omelet, and surprisingly, they protect their own. Then things got weird because I got hungry, and I dropped an egg on chocolate cake, which cradled the egg much better than I anticipated. More surprisingly, so did brownies. To finish, I tried adding some velocity to the egg coated in Oobleck. It didn't work. So what did I learn? That Oobleck may have some interesting applications in shock absorption, perhaps a strange phone case, airbags or headrests in a car, but probably just a fun science experiment.